Stay tuned until the end of the episode where I will explain how to approach this dirty little triplet to go as fast as you can.
Throwdown!
Let me check my bars real quick, just one more time.
I did, and I still feel paranoid, like I want to check it
Now I
again.
have to check it.
Well, you just put batteries in yours.
That's true.
Yeah.
But what if I accidentally turned it off?
That is true. I've done that before.
I'm not going to check, and then we might have to film the whole thing over again.
You good?
Hit it!
On this week's Throwdown, Happy Harness demos the workout.
We've got overhead squats, handstand push-ups, and toes to bar.
We release these workouts right here, where?
On YouTube.
Every Thursday at
1 p.m.
You should have said at. When?
Our first training cycle for the 2022 competitive CrossFit season just started. For more information and to join, head to trainingthinktank.com.
This week's Throwdown is for time 21:15.963 of overhead squats, kipping handstand push-ups, and toes to bar.
And if you want to get on the leaderboard, check the description down below. There's a link. And we're doing something new for all of you.
Oh,
Yes, this
snap.
is going to be
Tell us,
special.
man.
If you actually upload a video into the leaderboard and submit your score, we're going to randomly pick a score, a video, make sure that you did the workout correctly, and then give you a prize. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
What is that?
To be clear, you're going to get a prize. We're not going to tell you what it is, but you don't have to do the workout RX. It could be scaled. We're just trying to encourage people to actually get on the leaderboard, and if you do, we're going to pick a random winner and send you
Wow.
something.
All right.
Something.
Who's our demo?
If you submit a video.
Yes.
We've said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, be very clear.
If you submit a video.
I could have been a little bit more clear, but wasn't really sure what I was doing.
People are dumb.
Yes. All right, Hannes is our demo this week. Hannes is a 30-year-old full-time engineer. He's a bubble level semifinals athlete. Him and
I
Mike.
feel like you just gave his dating profile. Continue.
He's very fit. They're working on top-end strength and managing that work-life balance so he can keep competing.
Let's watch him crush this workout.
0.
Two jack guys.
I'm glad you started.
Mike's looking good over there. All right, so it starts with 21 overhead squats. I think for high-level males or females, most people are probably thinking about going unbroken here.
Yeah. This is a really good squat cadence, and he's got really good squat positions. I didn't watch him do this, but
Yeah.
He's pretty tall, too.
It helps a ton, especially with the overhead squat having good positions. You're not having to like really brace, and you can actually breathe in the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we always talk about is like movement is king, making sure that you clean up your movement pattern so you can be efficient. Really good first set, quick transition. Again, this workout for elite males or females is really going to be about like just getting back and forth as quickly as you can. So that was a great transition.
go ahead. No, I'm going to let you do it, Mia.
I was going to say for non-elites, for people who aren't going to be able to do the gymnastics unbroken, do you think that they should break the overhead squats?
Yeah, so I do. It's very dependent upon what the limiter in this pairing is, because some people, this combination will blow their backs up. Sometimes it might just be like their arms and stabilizing overhead.
Yeah.
If you know that you're going to be limited by that, I think that it might make sense just to drop the bar so it's not overhead for a really long time right before doing pressing gymnastics.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because some of the feedback, we've done some combos like this in our online training program, The Design, and some people say, like, if they're holding the bar overhead, my shoulders just blow up going into handstand push-ups, and then others are like, my back is blowing up on the squat.
Yeah.
So it's really finding the limiter, and then in your training, making sure you're taking care of those things.
Some tight toes to bar.
Yeah.
Very sharp.
They
I
look
mean, his
awesome.
movement
Yeah,
quality
really
just
good.
in general, this is a good model of holding good movement quality. It'll be interesting to see. So he did that in the 21s. In this type of a descending format, it's really going to be about the 15-9, maybe the 9-6, and seeing if the speed and the positions can maintain under that level of fatigue.
I think the 15 by far is the hardest, especially here with the squat going into the handstand push-up. But he still looks good. His cadence maybe has slowed down just a little bit, but that's still a really good cadence
Yeah,
for
it's
this
still
workout.
definitely
Yeah,
fast.
there's not any big pauses there.
Right.
He also looks comfortable too.
Yeah, he's going so quick, I don't have time to commentate. So I'm going to talk about the overhead squats again. When he gets back to the 9s, it'll be a relatively short set, but pay attention to the fact that he's braced. Like, you can see he's tight, but you can still see that he's exhaling and breathing. And it's really important when you're doing barbell cycling to figure out what your breath cadence is, not letting it get completely out of control where you're just going and hyperventilating and just bleeding energy.
And that's a skill that needs to be practiced. You have to learn how to do that well, especially as loads increase in workouts. really tight toes to bar.
Yeah,
again. I mean, he
I'm
looked
curious
awesome.
to see if his feet are behind. It's hard to tell from that angle. Looks like it's a
I
little
bet his
clo-
heels
oh,
are
yeah, he
probably
reaches
breaking,
back with
yeah.
his feet. Yeah.
So you could see his hands were slipping. If you go back in the video, his fingers started to slide. That's why he had to break there.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to get grippy at all?
You know, for me, actually holding the bar overhead and like getting into that deep wrist position actually does bother my grip. But I think for most people, that's not going to be an issue with the toes to bar.
Man, he's been moving. This is a very, very well executed movement in terms of being unbroken, fast transitions, good movement speed. Like that was like 2 or 3 seconds from dropping the bar to getting on the wall.
Can I give a critique to his
Of
judge?
course, yeah.
Mike should have had him do handstand push-ups on the wall by the toes to bar. He's
so
losing
that
so
he
much
could-
time on the transition.
Yeah, definitely.
for
If
sure.
this
Come on,
is,
Mike.
if there are no standards, that's definitely the way to do it. But like we've seen, we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Right,
CrossFit now
yeah.
has these like, hey, it's 8 feet, then you
Yeah.
make another line. If that's the case, it's good to practice
We
this
have
way.
like, what is this, a 20-foot?
yeah, it's definitely long.
So that was his first break in a movement there, right? He just
Yeah,
he
but
did
it
the
was
last rep of the
like
toes to bar.
a
quick.
release and then just back up, which is, I think, really solid.
You can tell here, so see there, like the movement, it's still really good. So I'm being nitpicky, but he stepped forward a little bit, midline's getting tired, so you can see the ability of somebody at the top level of the sport, like let's say top 10 in the games, they're gonna just have a little bit of an ability to maintain the speed and not have technical breakdown in this sets. It's like, it's such a small difference between this level of execution, so that'd be a little point to work on.
With something to note though, in training like this, I think it's okay to get to that limit on your last set or your second to last set if it's like 6-3 like he's doing. So push yourself there. Don't overpace to where it's like I have to have everything technically perfect because it's really hard to improve that way.
Yeah, it's hard to be a good racer without pushing
Right.
your limits every once in a while.
So really good set, quick transition. I like his kind of pseudo kip there. It's not, his knees aren't coming all the way down. It's that half kip. That's something else that you should be practicing at home, especially if you're good at handstand push-ups.
And the running the transition, very well done. Good sprint
Yeah.
finish.
Nice job.
That was really good,
5
Hannes.
minutes.
So you guys probably won't be that good. Let's go to the weight room. I'll tell you how.
How was it? Fun. Crippy. That was good.
All right, let's talk strategy. So this workout, 21, 15, 9, 6, 3, these descending rep schemes generally allow you to push the pace pretty early because as you're transitioning from movement to movement and round to round, the rep schemes are going down. So it's not as big of a commitment, for example, to jump up and do a set of toes to bar if you only have to do 9 versus if this were 4 rounds of 15, jumping up and doing 15 becomes a bigger commitment. So as you go through from a mentality perspective, I think going out with an aggressive strategy and knowing that the rep ranges are dropping as you finish each round can allow you to try to keep that aggression as you go through. Now, we have overhead squats at 135, kipping handstand push-ups, and toes to bar. I think the bottleneck for each type of person is going to be dependent upon what your skill level is. For some people, this number of handstand push-ups because they're kipping, no problem. Or maybe it's only a problem because right before it you have to do relatively heavy overhead squats where you're holding the barbell overhead for a relatively long period of time and making your shoulder girdle and your triceps kind of fatigued. The toes to bar, I think this type of a rep scheme for all types of athletes other than maybe the beginner, intermediate type of athletes, it's achievable to break up, either do it unbroken or break it into small sets with quick breaks. So as you're going through, I wanted to kind of give some targets for each movements. For elites, overhead squats, unbroken. I would also say for elites, handstand push-ups, because they're kipping, unbroken. And then unbroken toes to bar. When we watch Hannes do this, he seemed to go through unbroken on almost everything, I think, until the set of 6 toes to bar, where he just came down for a quarter of a second and jumped back up. But he kind of gave you a model for the fact that this workout can be done unbroken. And so if it can be, that means the area for opportunity for you is going to be in the transitions and it's going to be in your movement speed. Some of Hannes's time is going to be overinflated because he was moving from the wall all the way to the pull-up bar, which took away some time. So if you can get your setup a little bit tighter, overhead squat fast and keep your cadence tight, handstand push-ups fast, toes to bar, jump up, and do them at a quick speed. That will be your goal as an elite or your target as to how you would approach it. For RX athletes, I would say for the overhead squats, only break these if it's needed I put for handstand push-ups here, but also for speed. Sometimes when I watch athletes do longer sets of overhead squats, they're resting 1 to 3 seconds overhead, kind of standing up and going, and almost doing them like, 1 or 2 rep maxes within this long extended set. If you're getting to that point, I'd say you'd be better off dropping the bar, doing, let's say 7 fast reps, dropping the bar, picking it back up, 7 fast reps, dropping the bar, 7 fast reps, and then a quick transition. Those breaks early can allow you to finish the end of the workout faster, but also allow you to get through the actual reps quicker than if you're just hanging on and grinding through the reps. For intermediate athletes, I think it's kind of the same as RX, except I'm guessing that 135 could potentially be outside of the strength demands or outside of your strength potential in this type of a rep range. So feel really comfortable scaling. Check the description down below if you do need a scaling option. Also think about quick breaks here. I'm thinking that breaks might be more important for intermediate athletes in the overhead squats because you're going from an overhead squat into a handstand push-ups. What was that? You're going from your overhead squats into handstand push-ups, and handstand push-ups is a shoulder-intensive exercise, which generally intermediate athletes are necessarily not as good at. So if you are an intermediate athlete, I'd say scale the reps. Also, you can check out down below, or as you're doing it, I put change to Kipping here, but you can ignore that. They already are Kipping. You can change these to dumbbell shoulder to overhead or something lighter if you're worried or concerned about inverting. Lastly, toes to bar. For elite athletes, again, the strategy is unbroken on everything. For RX and intermediate, I'd say that this breakup is going to be as needed with a focus on quick breaks and knowing how you navigate the other movements. For each type of athlete, there's going to be a different type of limitation based on your squat positions, your overhead position, how much skill you have in handstand push-ups, how good your straight arm strength and compression is. So as you're going through the workout, you really want to try to figure out where is your bottleneck going to be. For most people, it's probably going to be somewhere in this 15 and 9, because in the beginning, you're doing all these movements a little bit fresh, but when you come back to them, they're going to be under fatigue. When you're under fatigue, your biggest bottleneck is going to be where you lose the most time. So your break strategy in the other movements is basically going to be dictated by you trying to limit how much time you lose when you hit that bottleneck portion of the workout. That's all I got for the elite RX intermediate athletes getting after this workout. Good luck, and I will see you on next week's Throwdown. What fell? A water bottle fell out of the garbage.
Show us the culprit.
This freaking stupid smart water is so dumb.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, let it be known what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.